Hi guys, today we're going to be taking a look at British safety systems. In British safety systems there are various main ones. We have AWS, TPWS, DVD, DSD and DRA, as well as ATP, but we're not going to talk about that one. Okay, so we're just going to head into the 377 and I'm going to show you how to also operate the doors properly like they would in real life. So, evidently set up our lights as usual. Right, so the first thing we've got to do to know our safety systems are enabled is, evidently, if we put in the master key and turn the reverse into an engine only or neutral, nothing's going to sound, so there's not going to be any AWS self-test. So we're going to remove our master key, and also you're going to see that there's this light illuminated which says safety systems isolate. So we've got to head over to the isolation panels, which are over here. In these panels you can see DSD isolated, Vigilance, which is DVD isolated, AWS isolated, particularly with Tpws, and DRA. So we're going to unisolate them all by just inserting our master key and turning it. There you go. Okay, now as you can see the light has extinguished because all the safety systems are unisolated. If even the smallest one, for example DRA, was isolated, it comes on again. Okay, so we're going to start with the simplest of them all, being DRA. So before we unlock the doors, we're just going to take a look at the system. This system works when you press this knob, but because our master key isn't inserted, the light doesn't come on. So we're going to insert our master key. Let me just set it, and set it to neutral. And when we set it to neutral, it's going to illuminate. I'll go back on that later. But first off, AWS, automatic warning system, and TPWS, trade protection warning system, work with balises and a receptor found on the underside of the unit/locomotive. When it goes over this, and this is set to danger, TPWS will give you a train stop, and it will stop you immediately, straight after you've passed that grid. If it's clear, it won't. And then you've got these, which are AWS new balises, and we're going to go to the old balises. So this is an old AWS balise. So when you go over this, if the next signal is green, so it's clear, you're going to get a chime, a bell in the cab. If it's clear, if it's not clear, so it's an advanced caution or a danger, it means that you're going to get a bell that you're going to have to, a buzzer that you're going to have to acknowledge. Okay. So heading back to our 377, another thing AWS does is, and TPWS, is when you set the reverser to neutral, you're going to get a self-test that you're going to want to cancel. Yellow button there. So we're going to set it to neutral once we've inserted the master key and acknowledge the self-test. Okay, now in order to open the doors, we're going to have to set the brakes to step 3. There you go. And also set the DRA. The DRA, driver reminder appliance, is basically just a traction block. It will let you roll, but it doesn't let you apply traction. So you use it before a red signal and when stopped at a platform to ensure that you don't move off without knowing the consequences of moving off. So the first thing I'm going to do is open the window. And I'm going to look out the window, see if everything's clear, yeah, and release the doors. And we've released the doors. In the meantime, I'm going to show you basic TPWS controls. So we've got TPWS is this panel here. So we've got train stop. See, by going to this camera you can see them better. Yeah, there you go. That's train stop. That's AWS. That's TPWS isolate. And this button is the last button with the black marker. Is pressable. If you've got a red signal ahead and you've been given verbal confirmation by the signaller that you have permission to proceed on it, you can press, and it will temporarily disable TPWS train stop. Okay. Then the other switch is located over here. When you're shunting, you must put this to isolated. and you can see that the middle light has lit up. That means TPWS is temporarily isolated. So we're going to unisolate that because we're going to do mainline running, and you see it's now extinguished. Then we've got DSD and DVD. They work with this pedal here. Right now we're pressing it. In neutral, nothing happens. If we release it in forwards, the train's going to apply its brakes and stop. So that's the DSD, driver safety device. It basically just stops you if you take your foot off the pedal while in forwards or reverse. And you've got DVD, which is driver vigilance device, which sounds an audible alarm every 60 seconds or something like that you don't move a control. Simply just reset by doing that. There you go. As easy as pie. So that's basically all the safety systems. So also, whenever you get a train stop by DVD or AWS, it's going to also light up the TPWS brake demand. I'll show you that in a minute. So first thing we're going to do is just safely depart the platform. So we're going to remove the DRA. Let's just pull out of the knob, put the train forward. Step 1, look out the window. Yeah, there's nobody wanting to board the train, so close the doors. Nobody trapped, so we can slowly get moving while we still look out in notch 1. Yeah, we're fine because the platform's empty, so we just close the window and we'll leave it open. And put it into notch 2. There we go. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to get an AWS. I'm going to show you the different parts of AWS and the different parts of DSD. So we're going to just coast now. I'm going to show you how DVD sounds. I'm going to show you how I'm not sure DSD is going to apply my brakes. I'm going to try it though. I'm going to release the pedal, and it should, in theory, release my brakes, as in apply my brakes. If I stand up, no, it's not working, but it should apply your brakes. It should, in theory, apply your brakes. And then I'm gonna show you first how. So I'm not gonna move any controls for some time now, so that you can hear DVD. And then I'm gonna acknowledge it. Well, just reset it, and then we're gonna get a train stop with AWS, which would be the same as getting on with TPWS. And I'm gonna show, or DVD, sorry. And I'm gonna show you how to clear it. So just gonna coast so that we can get the alert. There we go. Just wait for it. But any moment, it's quite loud, it's very audible, it's beep 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 beep, and you just have to acknowledge it. Just go like that. So I'm gonna now not touch it. So I'm just gonna coast the train and not touch any controls, including the pedal, because I'll probably just reset the timer now until we get to London Road. There's a train coming into Brighton. It's in another 4-car. So I'm not going to touch anything. I know we're going very slowly, but I'm not going to touch absolutely anything. Actually, it might only do it in power. If it does only do it in power, well then we'll have to do it when we're moving. Yeah, there's no, look, this is an AWS clear. There you go. That was a clear chime. The sunflower has extinguished, therefore the next signal is a clear, and as you can see it is. Also, sometimes there's fixed AWS that sound at, for example, in the exit of Lewis on the Glynde Junction. There you go, that's a DSD. I'm going to acknowledge it. There you go, see it? Stop. That's a DVD. There you go, and now we're just going to stop at the car mark. There you go. I stopped a bit beyond, but we're fine. So I'm just going to step 3, neutral, DRA on, open window, and head out window and release the doors. This thing here was where we were meant to stop, but I was trying to show you DVD, and we did. Next time it sounds, I'm not going to acknowledge it, and I'm going to show you how it sounds, not how to get rid of a TPWS train stop. So let's just get back in the cab for a minute. Let's just wait and prepare to move off. So forwards, remove the DRA, step 1. Get your head out the window. There's nobody in the vicinity of the train, so close the doors. we're clear to move off, so we're moving off. There we go. As I said, this time when we get our DVD, if we get one, which I hope we will, so I'm just actually going to leave it in power 2 for now, so that we get one. And I'm not going to reset it, so that you see how it stops you and how to reset it. It's pretty easy. As you can see, I'm not putting it to full power, I'm at half power, just so that we can leave it on accelerating for a while, and we've got enough time to give us a train stop. There we go, little by little. And then at Lewis, when the scenario is finished, I'm going to go beyond the signal that we've got permission for, and I'm going to show you how the light illuminates as well when passing a signal. It also flashes, it's not a fixed light, it flashes red. Okay, so we're in coasting distance of Muscle Cube, so I'm just going to coast. So now it's going to start the timer for the DVD, presumably. Let's see. There's the clear AWS, indicating we've got another clear signal, as you can see we do. This signal isn't equipped with a Tpws train stop. Grid, because it's a fixed signal. It doesn't move around when you pass it. Yeah, so soon it should give us the DVD alarm. Come on. And then I can show you train stop. Come on, give it, because I'm going to have to slow it down any moment now. Yeah, there you go. I'm not gonna do anything. Look, Tpws train stop. Oh no, it didn't give it to me. That's really odd. Maybe it's because I put it into... Maybe it's because I put it into brake as I came in. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. It feels like it has. That's weird. Now it feels really odd. Release my doors. Put neutral. DRA window. Whack a head out. Come on, this time we really got to get a DVD stop, because that way I can show you the... And also if you get an AWS stop, AWS, any of the two will do. Here's the clear AWS, please. So remember to listen out for the clear chime. We can now depart. So let me just not reverse forwards, and we're off. And we close the window. And now listen out for the clear AWS, or might be danger. Might be a fixed AWS, I'm not sure. There you go, that's the clear AWS. So I'm now going to leave it on power 2, and I'll wait for the alarm to sound. Actually, it might just be fine if I put it in power. And then I'll show you later on in the video, I'll show you how to do it, but with an older locomotive. Because remember, Tpws is only fitted to locomotives that have been updated in post-year 2000. So for example, the Class 37 hasn't got it, because in this game it uses the one that's from Tees Valley Line, so you've got to be mindful about that. So now I'm just going to, so this is when I wanted to set it to power 2, and now I'm going to wait for that DVD train stop. I'm just going to do something quickly, just checking, there we go, just checking the game wasn't bugged. As we come into Falmouth, I'm just going to have to coast it now. Come on, give me a DVD for once. I can't touch the power brake handle. There you go, that was the clear AWS. There's the speaker. Passcom override down there. As we coast into Falmer. Come on, give me the DVD. It's taking particularly long today. Coming up to the station. We're gonna overshoot, definitely. No, I want to stop at the station. So I just had to slam on the brakes. There's the marker 225 car, we passed it, but anyway. DRA, get our head out the window. And I'm sorry I haven't been able to give you any of the things I promised so far. Well, I'll try this time. Hopefully it'll work. I'm just not going to do anything actually this time. This time I'm just going to put it in power 2 like I was originally. Prepare to depart. Close the doors. And we're off. There's nobody coming next to the train. Particularly slow stop from this platform. So just wait a minute just to see if there's anybody coming up. No, we're fine. Notch 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it in notch 2 this time, and I'll wait until it sounds, basically. Let's just wait. Bum, 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 bum. Coming to Falmer Tunnel. It's a bit slow, but then we can't go too quick because we want to get that DVD. And also then we'll get an AWS stop. We'll get both of them this time, I promise. You can see the two blue interlock lights and the line light, which is the yellow one. Of course we've got a cab light. Ah, I acknowledged it. I can't believe it, I acknowledged it. Sorry, it's just instinctive for me to acknowledge it. I can't believe it echoed in the tunnel though. It echoes in the tunnel, that was very weird. Why is it saying I've got a coast? Why was there a coast board? Okay, promise I won't acknowledge the next one, and just look at the TPWS red light. And it probably will come on. Come on. I'm gonna have to coast now because I don't want to go too fast. Just coasting up to the line speed. That's the clear AWS. Waiting for my DVD to sound. Still waiting. Maybe it only sounds under power. Nope, there you go, it's sounding now. I'm not going to acknowledge it. and it's going to give us the TPW. No, it didn't give us a TPWS train stop. It just made an emergency brake application. There's only one way to get rid of this. Wait for the train to halt. Wait for the train to stop. Put the reverser to neutral. Lift, reset that. Step 1 and wait. We're ready. Forwards, release, we're off. And then now, because the HUD's saying we've got a yellow signal, we're going to get a fixed AWS, not unfixed, sorry, an AWS, which is going to give us the TPWS train stop. We can actually accelerate for this one, can't we? Because this doesn't depend on speed or anything. It's just as you go over the Belize. Come on then. Where's the thing? Where's the Belize? Looking for it. See when we come over it. And it will give us the AWS. Oh, there it is. Prepare for the light to light up. This one, it is going to light up. There you go. See, it's lit up. TPWS train stop activated. Because I was just trying to show you that I knew that from the beginning. But I was just going to show you that DSD and DVD are for the safety of the passengers on, like, because the drivers had a problem. And then you've got the actual signalling, which is there you go. Which is and then these TPWS and DPWS and AWS are actually signalling systems, and that's just for the safety of the train regarding a signal. So now we're just going to reset the reverser, brake step 1, and acknowledge both of them. And as we acknowledge, we also press the TPWS train stop button, and it stopped flashing. So now step 3. DRA on, engine off, as in the reverser to engine off, or out, or whatever you want to call it, and wait. There you go, it's extinguished, reverser neutral, step 1, forwards, and we're off. Not without the DRA, which is what I was showing you. If you accelerate against the DRA, it holds your brakes. No, it doesn't let you accelerate. It doesn't hold your brakes though. And as you can see now, we've got a sunflower indicating the next signal is at danger. So now we're just going to stop at Lewis. And now we're going to coast. As we approach a yellow aspect, which is going to be an advanced caution, double yellow. Passing this crossing. There we go. And preparing to slow down. Acknowledge AWS. There you go. Step 2. As you can see, we just passed our single yellow, which is a caution, and there's the danger coming up, which is the one we're not going to stop at Lewis, well, we would in real life. But I'm just going to show you, if you don't press this button here, which would only be when the signal is giving you permission to do so. I mean, you could do it anyway, but you should only. This is all about shoulds, not you must. So only then can you proceed to signal at danger without TPWS stopping you. As you can see though, we're going to come into Lewis platform 5, I think it is. And as we come into Lewis platform 5, we're not going to stop. Is it platform? Yeah, platform 5. We're not going to stop, and we're going to pass the signal out of danger, just to show you. Also, if there's ever a signal that's, for example, this you'll find, because the speed limit's but for example, if you've got a signal on the main line, and the speed limit's very high, apart from having the TPWS train stop on the signal, you're going to have one before, which is overspeed. So if you're going too fast, it will stop you anyway, even if you haven't actually passed the signal, in order to stop you before. So here we're going to pass the grid. It's going to give me fail, but there you go, the light illuminated. It didn't. Oh, that's a bug, but it should. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. Actually, no, this isn't the end of the video. It's just the end of the first clip of the video. So this is clip 1, and I'll see you in clip 2. Welcome to part 2 of the safety systems video. Okay, so we're going to do it with an older locomotive set in a time when TPWS and DRA didn't exist, or DVD. So just get in the loco, start the engine. There we go, engine started. Wait a minute. There we go. So now we're started. We've got to do basically. Okay, so the first thing you've got to do in both cabs of the operating locomotive, not in the double header, only the operational locomotive, is check that on the AWS box, which is what we call this thing, on the rear bulkhead, both isolation levers are in the unisolated position. Then this locomotive is also fitted with DSD, which is isolatable, so it's behind the door, and as you can see this little switch there, we'll put it downwards. That's it, as easy as that. The breaker, and then, so if we sit down and we release our train brake, you can see that the brake pipe pressure isn't going down. Well, if we release our loco brake as well. See, the pressure isn't lowering. This is because we forgot to do the Aws Cab Changeover, which is what is going to activate the AWS in one or the other cabs. You can have the changeover levers on both cabs, but the brakes won't release. So only in one cab. Lift it, acknowledge the self-test, and simply hear the brake pipe charging now. Release whatever you need to release. As you can see now, this pedal is pressed, so I'm just going to release the brake as we get moving. And if I was to now idle the engine, and actually no, I'm going to give the engine more power. See the amp meter there? See how it's, just so that you can see the difference. If I now release the pedal by either sitting up or just look, I'm going to release the pedal just manually, the amps drop, and you can hear the brakes apply. I'm just going to stand up. There you go. Of course, and then you're saying, then how are you meant to get out of the cab? Evidently the brake application is very low, comparing it to this. If you step back up, the engine will rev up again. There we go. Evidently, just put it in neutral, and the brakes, if I release the brakes in neutral, they won't apply, as you can see. And if I rev the engine in neutral, it won't stop either. There we go. So this is what we're going to do. This is part. This was the 37 part. Oh, and I forgot to show you something. If you want to change cab, it's just after just setting down the cab, you just do that. Lower the cab changeover lever. Just head to the other end. Get up, and there you go. And just when you finish the locomotive, lower it. There we go. So that's all I wanted to show you with the Class 37, which is just a good example of an older diesel. And I'm going to show you with the Class 08. To nearly finish off the video, I'm going to show you the Class 08's safety systems. Okay, so we're just going to sit down, start the engine, apply the loco brake to full service, release the train brake, release the handbrake, oops, handbrake, and once we've released the handbrake, set the reverser power And as you can see, this locomotive has a DSD bar, but if I get up, I can even get out of the cab if I like. It's going to climb up on this little stairs. It's going to carry on moving. So just what we've got to do in order for the safety systems to be activated in this loco, there's a little tap down here. We've got to turn it to normal, and that will now, if I power up, there you go. You probably didn't hear it very well because the loco brake. So now, if I power up, if I get off the seat, you can hear the brakes apply. If I had the reverser neutral, nothing happens as usual. And that's basically all there is to the Class 08 side of things. And now to finally finish off the video, I'm going to show you the BR Class 101 Dmmu. Welcome to the last clip of this series of videos. In the Class 101, because the throttle in real life is actuated by a spring that acts as the DSD device, in the game it's just modelled as always down, and you can manually move it, and it just pretends that the driver keeps its hand down. So, the only real safety system is the AWS, which is, as you can see, found under the seat, which is just as easy as usual as just go down and pull the lever forwards. As easy as that. And if you want to isolate it when you finish, just push it back and forwards again, and you get the self-test. And that's basically all it has. And then it's just driving the 101 like you would. First gear, and off you go. So yeah, the 101 has not got any safety systems, as I said, only AWS and the DSD. So because in real life, if you let go of this thing, it would go like that, and then it would go forwards, and then it would go, and it would apply your brakes, and it would go like that, and your train would stop. So basically that is what the only thing there is to Class 101 Dmmu. I hope you've enjoyed this series of clips which I've blended into one big video on how to British safety systems, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.